The alley reeked of garbage and rain. Zara Mitchell pressed her back against cold brick, one hand cradling her 7-month belly, the other raised in futile defense. 3 men loomed closer, guns glinting under the single flickering streetlight. 47,000, Reaper growled, his scarred face twisting into something cruel. Your boyfriend owes us 47,000. He ain't here, so you pay. I don't have it, Zara whispered, tears streaming down her dark cheeks. Please, I'm pregnant. Should have thought about that before Damon ran. Cutter grabbed her arm. Zara screamed. Then silence. A different kind, the kind that made predators freeze. Step away from her. The voice came from the shadows, calm as death itself. A man emerged into the light, tall, broad-shouldered, white shirt open at the collar, revealing dark ink curling up his neck. His eyes were black glass. Reaper laughed nervously. This ain't your business. The man's gaze never left Zara. When he spoke, his voice was velvet over steel. Close your eyes, and don't open them until I tell you. Zara's hands shook as she squeezed her eyes shut. Her heart hammered against her ribs so hard she thought it might crack them. The baby kicked, sensing her terror. Silence stretched. Then, movement, fast, brutal. She heard impact, a choked gasp, the clatter of metal on pavement. No gunshots, just awful, efficient violence that lasted maybe 40 seconds. Then nothing. You can open them now. Zara's eyes flew open. The 3 men were gone, vanished. Only the stranger remained, standing 5 feet away, white shirt still pristine, not a hair out of place. His neck tattoo, a tiger, she realized, fierce and protective, seemed to move in the dim light. Where? Her voice cracked. They won't bother you again. He tilted his head, studying her with unnerving intensity. You're hurt. She looked down. Blood trickled from where Cutter had grabbed her arm, nails breaking skin. It's nothing. It's not nothing. He pulled out his phone, never taking his eyes off her. Jay, corner of 5th and Vermont. Bring the car. Wait, Zara breathed, panic rising. I can't. How far along? The question caught her off guard. What? Your pregnancy. How far? 7 months. Why does that... When did you last eat? Zara's throat tightened. She couldn't remember. Yesterday morning. The day before. I'm fine. His jaw tightened. You're malnourished. Your hands are shaking. You have bruises on your wrists that are at least 3 days old, and men just tried to kill you over a debt you didn't create. He stepped closer. You are many things. Fine is not one of them. A black Mercedes pulled up, sleek and silent. A man emerged, Asian, early 30s, concerned eyes. Boss? He saw Zara and his expression shifted to shock. Is she... She's coming with us. The stranger's tone left no room for argument. No. Zara backed against the wall. I don't know you, I don't... Those men work for the West Side Collective. They'll be back with more people, angrier. You think they'll care that you're pregnant? His voice was matter-of-fact, not cruel, just honest. You have 2 choices. Come with me and live, or stay here and die in this alley before sunrise. That's not a choice. No, he agreed quietly. It's not. But it's the only one you have right now. Zara's legs gave out. She slid down the wall, tears burning hot trails down her face. The baby kicked again, hard, as if telling her to survive. The stranger crouched in front of her, careful to maintain distance. Up close, she could see his face clearly. Sharp cheekbones, a mouth that probably never smiled, eyes that had seen too much death. But his voice, when he spoke, was surprisingly gentle. My name is Tay. I can keep you safe. Both of you. His gaze dropped to her belly. But only if you trust me. Why? The word came out broken. Why would you help me? Something flickered across his face. For just a second, the mask cracked, and she saw something raw underneath. Because no one helped me when I needed it most. He stood, extending his hand. Zara stared at it. Masculine, scarred knuckles, surprisingly elegant fingers. The hand of someone who had killed tonight, who would kill again. the hand of someone offering her life. She took it. His car smelled like leather and something expensive she couldn't name. Zara sat in the back, Tay beside her, the driver, Jay, navigating through late-night Los Angeles with practiced ease. "Where are we going?" Her voice sounded small. "Somewhere safe." That's not an answer. Tay's lips almost curved. Almost. No, it's not. They drove through Koreatown, neon signs bleeding color into rain-slicked streets, past closed shops and late-night restaurants, deeper into a neighborhood that felt both foreign and strangely welcoming. The car stopped in front of a modern building, all glass and steel reaching toward the dark sky. "Top floor is secure," Jay said quietly. "Ghost is waiting." Tay nodded, then turned to Zara. "There's a doctor upstairs. He needs to examine you, make sure the baby's okay." Fresh panic spiked. "I can't afford—" "I'm not asking you to pay. I don't want your charity." Now his mouth did curve just slightly. "It's not charity, it's investment. I don't save people just to let them die of neglect." The penthouse was stunning, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the glittering city. Minimalist furniture in blacks and greys, art that probably cost more than Zara had earned in her entire life. She felt utterly out of place in her stained thrift store dress and broken shoes. A man approached, late 30s, Korean, wire-rimmed glasses, carrying a medical bag. "I'm Lucas. Most people call me Ghost." His smile was kind. "Let's make sure you and baby are healthy, yeah?" Zara nodded mutely. Tay disappeared into another room, while Ghost examined her in what appeared to be a guest bedroom. He was thorough but gentle. Asking questions she answered mechanically. "You're dehydrated and malnourished," Ghost said finally, his voice carefully neutral. "The baby's heartbeat is strong, but you're both under stress. When did you last have prenatal care?" 3 months ago, before I lost my job, before Damon—" She couldn't finish. Ghost squeezed her hand. "You're safe now. Tay doesn't make empty promises." "Who is he?" Ghost's expression shuttered. "Someone who keeps people safe. That's all you need to know tonight." When Ghost left, Zara found herself alone in a bedroom bigger than the studio apartment she'd been evicted from last month. A door opened. Tay entered carrying a tray. "Eat," he said simply, setting it on the nightstand. Rice, some kind of soup, kimchi, tea. Her stomach clenched with hunger so fierce it hurt. "I don't—" "If you say you don't need charity one more time, I'm going to think you're not very intelligent." His tone was dry. "You're pregnant and starving. Eat the food." Zara bristled. "You can't just order me." "I can. I did. Eat." Their eyes locked. His were unreadable, hers furious, but her hands betrayed her, reaching for the soup before pride could stop them. She ate. He watched. Neither spoke. When she finally finished, he stood. "Sleep. Tomorrow we'll discuss what happens next." "What does happen next?" Tay paused at the door, his profile sharp against the hallway light. "That depends on you." Then he was gone, leaving Zara alone with a full stomach, a soft bed, and absolutely no idea what she'd just walked into. Zara woke to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then memory crashed back. The alley, the men, Tay's calm voice telling her to close her eyes. She sat up too fast. The room spun. A knock. "You decent?" Tay's voice muffled through the door. "Yes." He entered carrying another tray. Coffee this time, she could smell it, and something that made her mouth water. Pancakes, eggs, fruit. "You're trying to fatten me up," she muttered. "You're growing a human, you need calories." He set the tray down. "How do you feel?" Confused, scared, grateful. She met his eyes. "Suspicious." "Good. You should be suspicious." Tay sat in the chair across from the bed, maintaining distance. "We need to talk about your situation." "My situation." "Damon Reed, your ex-boyfriend. He owes money to 7 different organizations. The West Side Collective is the least of your problems." Zara's blood ran cold. 7? Gambling debts, loan sharks, drug fronts. He's been using your name, your credit, your address. As far as they're concerned, you're equally responsible. But I didn't. Doesn't matter, you live together, that makes you collateral. She felt sick. How much total? Just over 200,000. The number was so absurd she almost laughed. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have any money. I know. Tay leaned forward, elbows on his knees. Which is why I'm offering you a deal. Here it comes, Zara thought. The catch. The price. What kind of deal? You stay here under my protection. I settle your debts. In return, I what? Become your... What, exactly? Her voice turned bitter. I've seen this movie. I know how this ends. Tay's expression hardened. I'm not interested in forcing myself on a pregnant woman. Or any woman. His tone was ice. I'm offering you employment. That stopped her. Employment? I own several legitimate businesses, a restaurant, an import company, real estate. You have a degree in business administration. How do you know that? He ignored the question. You can work, earn actual money, build something real, and in the meantime, you're protected. The baby's protected. Why? The question burst out. Why are you doing this? Tay was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was carefully controlled. Because I know what it's like to be powerless, to be hunted, to have nowhere to go. His jaw tightened. Because when I was 16 and bleeding in an alley, no one stopped to help. They stepped over me like garbage. Zara's throat closed. She saw it then, the boy he'd been, alone and broken, the man he'd become to survive. What's the real price? She whispered. Loyalty. Discretion. You don't ask questions about things that don't concern you. You don't speak about what you see or hear. His eyes bored into hers. And you don't run. People who run from me don't get far. It should have terrified her. Maybe it did. But it was also honest. No pretty lies, no false promises. I need to think about it. You have until tonight. Tay stood. Jay will take you wherever you want to go, but know this. The moment you leave this building, you're on your own. And those men? They're already looking for you. Zara spent the day in the penthouse, mind racing. She tried calling Nia, her best friend, but it went to voicemail. Everyone else had vanished when Damon's debts started surfacing. She found herself in the kitchen. Massive. Professional grade, spotless. A woman stood at the stove, elderly, Korean, humming softly. Oh! The woman turned, face breaking into a warm smile. You must be Zara. I'm Mrs. Han. I cook for Thai. I didn't mean to intrude. Nonsense. Sit, sit. Mrs. Han gestured to a stool. You're too thin. Growing baby needs more nutrition. Despite herself, Zara sat. You work for him? Work for him. No. Mrs. Han laughed, chopping vegetables with practiced precision. I knew Tay when he was a boy. Angry, scared, alone. I fed him then. I feed him now. He doesn't seem like someone who needs taking care of. Everyone needs taking care of, even men who pretend they're made of stone. Mrs. Han's eyes softened. He's a good man, Zara. Complicated. Dangerous, yes. But good where it counts. How can someone be both dangerous and good? How can a tiger be both predator and protector? It depends on who you are to him. Mrs. Han slid a plate across. Kimchi fried rice, perfectly seasoned. Eat. Then decide if you trust him. The food was incredible. Zara ate slowly, thinking. That evening, Tay found her on the balcony, watching the sun set over Los Angeles. Have you decided? He asked. Zara touched her belly, feeling the baby move. I have conditions. His eyebrow raised slightly. Go on. I work. Real work, not make-believe. I earn my keep. Agreed. I want to know what I'm walking into. Not everything. But enough to protect myself and my baby. Within reason. And when the debts are paid, when I'm safe, I can leave. No strings. Tay's expression was unreadable. If that's what you want, it is. Then we have a deal. He extended his hand. Zara looked at it. The same hand from last night, still scarred, still dangerous, still offering life. She shook it. His grip was firm, warm. Welcome to my world, Zara Mitchell. Try not to die. Comforting. I don't do comfort. I do survival. As he turned to leave, Zara called out, "New or Tay?" He paused. "Thank you. For last night. For this." He looked back, face shadowed in the fading light. "Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you've agreed to." But there was something in his voice, almost like regret, almost like warning, almost like he was already in deeper than he'd planned to be. 3 weeks passed in a strange new rhythm. Zara worked mornings at Tay's restaurant, Mrs. Han's place actually. Though Tay owned the building, she handled inventory, managed suppliers, learned the business from the inside out. She was good at it. Better than good. "You have a mind for this," Mrs. Han said one afternoon, reviewing Zara's reorganized ordering system. "Tay was right about you." "He talks about me." Mrs. Han's smile was knowing. "He watches. That's how he talks." Zara had noticed. Tay was always there, not hovering but present. Morning coffee appeared before she asked. Her favorite foods showed up at dinner. When her feet swelled, a footstool materialized. He never made a fuss, never drew attention. He just noticed, but he kept distance. Always professional, always controlled. It was driving her crazy. "You're staring," Nia said during her first visit to the penthouse. Her best friend sat across from her, eyes narrowed with concern. "At him. You're staring at him." "I am not." "Girl, please. I saw how you looked when he walked through." Nia leaned forward. "Be careful. Men like that, they're dangerous. He saved my life. And now you're living in his house, working in his business under his protection. That's not salvation, Zara, that's ownership." The words stung, because part of her wondered if Nia was right. That night, Zara found Tay in his office, a room she'd been told was off limits. The door was cracked open. She knocked softly. "Come in." He sat behind a massive desk, shirt sleeves rolled up, tattoo visible, papers spread before him. He looked tired, human. "I wanted to talk," Zara said. "So talk." "Nia thinks I'm making a mistake. Staying here." Tay's expression didn't change. "What do you think?" "I think I don't know you. Not really. You saved me. You're protecting me. But I don't know anything about you. What do you want to know?" "Everything, nothing, something real." She stepped closer. "Why did you really help me that night?" Tay was quiet for a long time. When he spoke, his voice was low. "My mother was pregnant when my father's enemies found her. I was 10. They didn't care that she was carrying my sister. They killed them both." Zara's breath caught. "Tay..." "I watched. Couldn't stop them. Couldn't save her." His hands flexed on the desk. "When I saw you in that alley, pregnant and terrified, I couldn't walk away, wouldn't. I'm sorry. Don't be. It made me what I am." He looked up, eyes dark. "I became powerful, so I'd never be helpless again, so I could protect what's mine. Am I yours?" The question hung between them, heavy with implications. "You're under my protection," Tay said carefully. "That's not the same thing." "Isn't it?" "No." He stood, moving around the desk. Closer. "If you were mine, Zara, you'd know it. There'd be no question." Her heart raced. "And if I wanted to be?" Tay stopped, jaw tight. "You're pregnant with another man's child, vulnerable, dependent on me. Anything between us would be complicated." "Wrong. Because you'd be taking advantage." "Yes." Zara laughed, the sound slightly bitter. "What if I'm the one taking advantage? Free housing, food, protection. Maybe I'm using you. Are you? I don't know anymore." She touched her belly. "I came here to survive. But now what? Now I notice things. The way you make sure I eat. How you moved the furniture so I wouldn't trip. That you learned what tea I like." She stepped closer. "You say you don't do comfort. But you're the most attentive man I've ever known. Zara. His voice was strained. Don't. Don't what? Notice that you care? That this isn't just business? It has to be just business. Why? Because. The word came out sharp. He ran a hand through his hair, composure cracking. Because I don't get to have this. I don't get to care about someone and keep them safe. Everyone I've ever cared about has died. I'm not dead. Not yet. The bleakness in his voice broke something in her. Zara closed the distance between them, reaching up to touch his face. He flinched, but didn't pull away. I'm not her, she whispered. I'm not your mother or your sister. I'm not a ghost you need to save. I know. Then what am I? Tay's hand came up, covering hers against his cheek. A mistake I can't stop making. He pulled away, putting distance between them again. You should sleep. It's late. Tay, good night, Zara. Dismissed. Again. Zara left, frustration and something deeper churning in her chest. She didn't understand this, didn't understand him, didn't understand why the space between them felt both too wide and not wide enough. She was almost to her room when she heard voices. Tay and another man, Jay. You're getting too close, Jay said. Everyone sees it. I'm protecting her, that's all. Is it? Because Morozov noticed. He's asking questions. About her. About why you care. Silence. Then Tay. Let him ask. Boss, if he thinks she's leverage, then I'll kill him, and anyone else who touches her. You hear yourself? This isn't you. You don't break protocol. You don't expose yourself for what, Jay? Say it. For a woman you barely know. For a baby that isn't yours. Another silence. Longer. I know, Tay said finally, voice raw. I know it's stupid, dangerous, everything I've worked for, risked. But when I look at her... He didn't finish. Zara pressed her hand to her mouth, heart thundering. She wasn't the only one falling, and that terrified her more than any threat could. The illusion of safety shattered on a Tuesday. Zara was at the restaurant, reviewing invoices in the back office, when the front door chimed. She glanced up through the window and froze. Damon. He looked worse than she remembered, thinner, eyes sunken, desperate. He scanned the restaurant, gaze landing on her. Zara, he started toward the back. Mrs. Hahn stepped in his path. We're closed for private event. That's my girlfriend. I need to talk to her. I'm not your girlfriend, Zara said, emerging despite her shaking hands. Leave, Damon. Baby, please, I know I messed up. You left me pregnant and alone with debts I didn't create. I can fix it. I got a job. I'm clean now. You're lying. She could see it in his eyes. The same desperation that had drained their bank account, pawned her grandmother's ring, stolen from her purse. Damon's face hardened. You think you're better than me now? Living in some rich guy's penthouse? Ice slid down her spine. How did you... I know things. I know you're shacked up with some Korean gangster. I know he's been paying off my debts. They weren't your debts. You made me responsible, and now you're responsible for opening your legs for... Damon's words cut off with a choked sound. Tay stood behind him, hand gripping Damon's shoulder with crushing force. Finish that sentence, Tay said quietly. Please. Damon went white. Up close, there was no mistaking what Tay was. Power radiated from him like heat. I wasn't... You were. Tay's voice was conversational, almost pleasant. You were about to disrespect the mother of your child in my establishment. I'm giving you a chance to apologize. I'm sorry, okay? Tay looked at Zara. Do you accept his apology? She wanted to say yes, to diffuse the situation, but rage rose hot in her throat, months of betrayal, fear, abandonment. No. Tay smiled. It was terrifying. Then we have a problem. Boss? Jay appeared in the doorway. Morozov's men are outside. Tay's expression went blank. How many? 4 cars. Get her upstairs now. I'm not leaving, Zara started. This isn't a discussion. Tay's eyes met hers, and she saw something that made her blood freeze. Fear, not for himself, for her. Jay, take her and Mrs. Han. Back entrance. Don't stop until you reach the safe house. What about you? I'll handle this. Tay! He cupped her face, the gesture so sudden and tender it stole her breath. Trust me, please. Then he was gone, striding toward the front entrance. Jay grabbed her arm. We have to move. Everything happened too fast. Jay hustled them through the kitchen, Mrs. Han surprisingly quick for her age. They burst into the alley. Gunfire erupted. Zara screamed. Jay shoved them behind a dumpster, gun already in his hand. Stay down! More shots, shouting in Russian. Zara clutched Mrs. Han, heart hammering, the baby kicking frantically inside her. Then silence. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. A man appeared at the alley entrance. 50s, grey hair, cold smile. Hello, Miss Mitchell. I'm Nikolai Morozov. We need to talk about your boyfriend. He's not. Tae Choi is many things. Subtle is not one of them. Morozov stepped closer. Did you know he killed 17 of my men last month, over a territory dispute? Zara's mouth went dry. Now he's protecting you. A pregnant stranger, very uncharacteristic. Morozov tilted his head. Which makes you valuable. Jay moved, but 3 guns cocked simultaneously. Drop it. Jay's jaw clenched, but he lowered his weapon. Morozov smiled. Smart. Now, Miss Mitchell, here's what's going to happen. A gunshot cracked. Morozov's man to the left dropped. Chaos exploded. Jay grabbed his gun, returning fire. Mrs. Han pulled Zara deeper into cover. Through the smoke and noise, Zara saw him. Tay moved like violence personified. Fluid, precise, lethal. He wasn't shooting wildly. Every bullet found its mark. Every movement was calculated. He was beautiful and terrifying. Morozov retreated, shouting orders in Russian. His men tried to regroup, but Tai was already there, appearing from impossible angles. In 90 seconds it was over. Morozov's men fled. The Russian boss himself vanished into a waiting car, tires squealing. Tai lowered his gun, breathing hard. Blood splattered his white shirt, not his own. His eyes found Zara. Are you hurt? She shook her head, unable to speak. He crossed to her in 3 strides, hands running over her arms, her face, her belly. The baby? Fine, we're fine. Tay's forehead dropped to hers just for a second, a moment of pure relief. Then the mask slammed back into place. He turned to Jay. Clean this up. I want surveillance footage from every camera within 3 blocks. Boss, they know about her now. I know. Tay's voice was granite, which means we escalate. That night, the penthouse felt like a cage. Tay paced his office, phone pressed to his ear, barking orders in Korean. Zara sat curled on the couch, hands wrapped around tea she couldn't taste. Nia had been right. This wasn't salvation. This was war, and she was the ammunition. When Tay finally emerged, he looked exhausted. We need to talk about relocating you. Where? Seattle. I have a safe house. My sister lives there. No, Zara stood. I'm not running again. Zara, this isn't up for debate. You're right, it's not. She faced him, chin raised. I'm staying. Whatever this is, whatever's coming, I'm staying. You don't understand what you're... Then explain it to me. Her voice rose. Stop protecting me from the truth and just tell me. Tay stared at her. Then slowly, he nodded. Sit down. This is going to take a while. And for the first time, he told her everything. The world she'd stepped into was darker than she'd imagined, but she didn't run. 2 months passed. Zara's belly grew round and heavy. The baby, a boy, Ghost confirmed, was healthy despite everything. She learned Tay's world from the inside, the legitimate businesses that funded the illegitimate ones. The network of loyalty and fear that kept his empire running, the enemies circling like sharks. And she learned him, how he took his coffee, black, 2 sugars, only in the morning, how he switched to Korean when stressed, how his left hand flexed when he was thinking about violence, how he never slept more than 4 hours, how every decision was calculated to protect the people under his care, how he looked at her when he thought she wasn't watching. They didn't talk about it. The tension stretched taut between them, a wire ready to snap. Until the night everything changed. Zara woke to wetness. For a moment, she thought she'd wet herself, embarrassing but normal at 9 months. Then pain ripped through her abdomen, contractions, 3 weeks early. "Tay!" Her voice came out strangled. He was there in seconds, taking one look before springing into action. "Ghost is in surgery. We're taking you to Cedars-Sinai." "The hospital?" But no arguments. "Jay." The drive was a blur of pain and fear. Tay held her hand the entire time, murmuring in Korean, words she didn't understand but somehow found comforting. They burst into the emergency entrance. Nurses descended, whisking her onto a gurney. "Sir, are you the father?" one asked Tay. He hesitated for half a second. "Yes." Zara's eyes met his. He squeezed her hand. Labor was long, brutal, terrifying. But Tay never left. He held her hand through every contraction, let her scream at him, wiped her face with cool cloths. "I can't do this," Zara sobbed during hour 7. "You can. You are." "I'm so scared." "I know." He pressed his lips to her forehead. "But you're the strongest person I've ever met, and I'm not leaving." 18 hours after it started, Isaiah Tay Mitchell entered the world screaming. They placed him on Zara's chest, tiny, perfect, alive. She burst into tears. Tay stood frozen, staring at the baby with an expression she'd never seen. Wonder, terror, something raw and aching. "Do you want to hold him?" the nurse asked. His voice cracked. "I don't know how. I'll show you." Zara watched Tay take her son, his hands so careful, like Isaiah was made of glass. The baby quieted, dark eyes blinking up at him. "Hello," Tay whispered. I'm going to keep you safe. Both of you. I promise." Something in Zara's chest cracked wide open. This man. This dangerous, complicated, impossible man. She was in love with him. They stayed in the hospital 3 days. Tay never went home. He slept in the chair beside her bed, woke for every feeding, learned to change diapers with the same focused intensity he applied to everything. On the second night, while Zara nursed Isaiah, Tay spoke quietly. "I need to tell you something." Her heart seized. "Okay." "Morozov made a move while you were in labor. Hit one of my warehouses." His jaw tightened. "Jay wants to retaliate. Hard. But retaliation means war. Full scale. And war means you and Isaiah become bigger targets." Zara's arms tightened around her son. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying..." Tay looked at her, eyes dark with conflict. "I'm saying maybe Jay was right. Maybe I should send you away, somewhere Morozov can't reach." "No." "Zara, no." She met his gaze steadily. "I told you I wasn't running. I meant it. This isn't about running. It's about surviving." "Then we survived together." She reached for his hand. "Tay, I know what you do. I know the risks, and I'm choosing to stay anyway." "You don't understand." "I understand that you're the only person who's ever protected me, who's ever seen me as more than a problem to solve, who's been there for every moment of my son's life when his own father couldn't be bothered." Her voice shook. "I understand that I love you." Tay went very still. "Zara, I know it's complicated. I know the timing is terrible. I know I come with baggage and a baby, and enough drama to fill a lifetime." Tears spilled over. "But I love you. And I think you might love me too." "I do." The words came out hoarse. "God help me, I do. Since the moment I saw you protecting your belly, even while those men were threatening your life. Since you demanded to work instead of accepting charity. Since you looked at my world and didn't flinch." He cupped her face. "You terrify me. Because loving you means losing you. Everyone I love dies, I know." She turned her face into his palm. But I'm still here. We're still here. Tay's thumb brushed her tears. If we do this, there's no going back. You'll be mine completely. And I don't share. I don't compromise. I don't... Zara kissed him. For a moment he froze. Then he melted into it, one hand sliding into her hair, the other cradling her face like she was precious. The kiss was soft, careful, achingly tender. When they broke apart, Tay rested his forehead against hers. I need you to understand what this means, he murmured. Being with me. The danger. The secrets. The life. I understand. No more halfway. No more pretending this is just protection. I don't want halfway. I'm not an easy man, Zara. I'm selfish and possessive and... She smiled. And you learned to change diapers for a baby that isn't biologically yours. And you held my hand through 18 hours of labor. And you look at my son like he's the most precious thing in the world. He is. You both are. Then stop talking and kiss me again. He did. Isaiah slept peacefully between them, unaware that his mother had just chosen a beautiful, dangerous future. 6 months later, Zara stood in the kitchen of their new home. Not the penthouse, but a house in the hills with a yard and security that would make Fort Knox jealous. Isaiah babbled in his high chair, throwing Cheerios at the floor. Tay sat across from him, patiently retrieving them, making the baby shriek with laughter. You're encouraging him, Zara said, smiling. He has good aim. I'm cultivating it. He's 8 months old. Never too early to start training. She threw a dish towel at him. Tay caught it without looking, smirking. The doorbell rang. Tay tensed automatically, hand moving toward the gun at his waist. It's just Nia, Zara said. Relax. I don't relax. But he did. Slowly he was learning that not everything was a threat, that he could have this, family, love, normalcy. The war with Morozov had ended 3 months ago. Tay had made a choice, negotiate instead of annihilate. CD territory in exchange for peace. It cost him respect from some of his men, cost him power. But he'd gained something worth more. He'd gained a life. Zara watched him lift Isaiah, the baby grabbing his father's face with chubby hands. Tay's expression, soft, unguarded, happy, still took her breath away. I love you, she said. Tay looked up, Isaiah on his hip, that rare smile curving his lips. I know, I'm very lovable. She laughed. You're impossible, and yet you chose me. Every day, Zara agreed. Every single day. Outside, the sun set over Los Angeles. Inside, a family that shouldn't exist but did anyway sat down to dinner. Together, safe, home,